Greg Johnson walked into this room. He's the owner of the Giants. If he walked into this room right now, would you even be able to identify him? I don't know if I could.
No, I wouldn't. I would.
Did you see any of the things that he said?
I skimmed through it.
Here's my favorite part.
Tell us what the article entails.
It's basically a sit down with him. Greg Johnson, who's the current owner of the San Francisco Giants. I guess he's the lead partner. I don't even know how you would describe him. There's like a conglomerate of 50 zillion people who own the Giants, and he happens to be at the forefront right now. I don't know if he's the board member. I'm not even sure. Somebody who understands money and how C Corps work or whatever the hell their designation is can explain it to me. I know with the Niners, it's Jed and his family. When I look at the Warriors, it's Lake Up, then Goober, and whoever else is on there. I kind of have a clear picture. Right now, it's like Greg Johnson and 7,000 other people, like a Wu-Tang concert. All right, here you go. So she asked him, hey, Farhan Zaidi's option, has it been picked up? Like, what's going on with that? Neither him or Gabe have had their deals extended. Where do you stand? And here's Greg Johnson's answer. And a quote from the Chronicle, Susan Slusser. We could have opted out for next year, and we didn't do that, which means Farhan is going to be around, both of them, him and Gabe Kapler, through next season. And nothing's changed as far as our desire. Farhan and I have been discussing on what this rate format looks like for both of us, and he's just been so busy. I keep telling him, well, if you want to get together and talk about it and finally put something down, and he's like, nah, I'm fine, we're okay. Very weird, right?
Very weird. Now, I'm going to say something, not to move off of this, because I do want to dive into this. I'm just going to request something from Sam Lovin.
What's that?
He sent out a tweet on the Morning Roast that says, what makes an athlete a bust? Give us your thoughts now on the roast. And it's a picture of Zavon Law.
No, take that off.
Can you please take that down?
Please do that.
Put Anthony Bennett on there. We're not going to do that to Mook Dog. We're not doing that to Mook Dog. We don't need the
my first attempt was Jamarcus Russell, but I wanted to get someone like kind of Kern or something like that. But
put Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel's
your
perfect.
Twitter fingers have gotten us in enough trouble.
Yes, it has.
I mean, outside of that one time,
no, there's been a couple.
There's been a few.
There's been a couple.
I mean, there was a Jets post the other day. I'm saying to myself, what the hell are we posting? It was a throwaway line of me being over the top about how optimistic I am about Aaron Rodgers.
I'm going to throw someone else under the bus there. But that wasn't.
You know what's funny is. We have a lot of moments where we laugh on the show. We get goofy.
Yeah. None of that makes it.
No, what makes it?
There's always blood coming out of my eyes.
You're super red, and I got a vein coming down the middle of my forehead looking angry. Like the guy from Star Trek. You know
like two idiots.
Look like this hot take artists, right?
I know.
Look like just absolute fools.
Gotta give the people what they want.
And then you get people in the comments, oh, I missed that other morning show. Well, guess what, folks? That morning show ain't never rated like this one. Ha 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 ha. How you like them apples?
I mean, they weren't talking wallets.
They weren't talking wallets at all. At all.
So do you care? If I think Farhan and Kapler, I understand why they would want to be like conceptually tied at the hip.
Yeah.
I think Kapler's done a great job. Given the ingredients that have been in the cupboard for him to cook with, I think he's done a great job. Now, if you want to make the argument that he's cooking off the recipes that are printed out for him and he cannot deviate from the recipe sheet, I'll listen to that.
Yep.
I don't think that gives enough credit to Kapler.
No, it doesn't.
I think Kapler's been in a very difficult position, and I actually separate the two, Kapler and Farhan.
But unfortunately, I don't think the organization views it like that.
Okay.
I feel like
why do you say that?
When Farhan picked Gabe Kapler to replace Bruce Bochy, we know the PR that Gabe Kapler was coming off of Philadelphia, the incident down in L.A. where he tried to be the mediator. Did not go well. That introductory press conference, I think people forget, the first 40 minutes of that press conference, I think we read it here on 95.7 Game, was all questions about what happened in L.A. in the Dodgers minor league system. Not what he's going to do for the Giants. Not replacing Bruce Bochy. It was like they're on a witness stand and the prosecutors were just coming down at him. Boom, 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 which was appropriate and fair. I think Gabe Kapler's won a lot of people over in this market. Some of the political stuff, and I know we don't want politics involved with sports, but as a black man, I appreciated a guy like him, a white guy, because we're looking for somebody to speak up for brothers, look up for sisters. You know, what was going on in his country, and he spoke up. And it seems like Kapler wants to be a good person. He knows right from wrong, right? He just wants the world to be a better place, right? But in terms of managing the club, I think, he gets the most out of this team. I think, some of the decisions that are made are not his decisions.
Yeah,
I don't think it is.
But I also think how you communicate to guys and having the equity with them, like he's not going to have everyone on his page at all times. That's not how coaching works. Like someone's always going to be mad at you at all times. Hey, I should be playing. I shouldn't have come out.
Right.
Whatever. I think given the roster, if I said to you, hey, Wilmer Flores is going to carry them for 2022, you'd be like, yeah, that team's probably going to finish under 500. They were at 500. Now, they don't get a parade for that, but I think he's made the most out of the least. And that's why I go back to Farhan, and I'm like, there's been some nice things. There have been some nice things. I don't want to say that everything's been bad. I just thought we'd be farther along.
Yeah, we did. And that's why Hank Schulman, when he, I said, who's the pillars on this team moving forward? And Hank, God bless his soul, longtime Giants beat writer. I got no problem with Hank. I got no problem with him coaching. And look, a lot of Giants fans are different than Niner or Warrior fans. They seem to take the long. They're patient. They're a lot more patient than you and I. I'm not a patient Giants fan. Year to year,
I think there are segments of Giants fans who are patient, and a big segment. I don't know which one's bigger. Who are not.
But all I asked before we move on was who are the pillars moving forward? Okay, Patrick Bailey.
Yes.
Logan Webb.
Yes.
Camilo Duval.
Yes.
Who else?
TBD. I don't know if Schmidt's going to come back up and be good.
That's what
I don't
saying.
know. What?
But Schulman, he quoted me saying Marco Luciano, Luis Matos, Casey Schmidt, Wisenhunt, Harrison. Yeah. Can you call somebody who's never played in the major leagues or had a cup of coffee in the major leagues a pillar of your organization? I don't know what Kyle Harrison is going to be.
Right.
I am optimistic that he's going to be a very good player for the Giants. I am optimistic that Wisenhunt's going to be a good player, but I never seen him throw a Major League Baseball. I never seen him throw a big league pitch. We saw Matos and Schmidt. At times, he looked overwhelmed.
I thought Matos looked better than Schmidt offensively.
But he just got sent back down.
Yes.
So
he wasn't great, but I thought he looked a lot better.
So how can I call those young men pillars of this organization? Webb, Bailey, Doval, I'll meet you there. Other than that, I can't call somebody who's never played in the big leagues a pillar.
That's fair.
Well, even just kind of throw a little bit more water onto this. Patrick Bailey having a great rookie year. How many guys have great rookie years and that's it? Like,
Matt
I don't really
Wieters.
I don't want to speak that into existence or anything like that. Knock on wood. But I mean, to call Bailey a pillar, sure, he looks the part now, but you don't become a pillar your rookie year. Guys like Buster Posey, I mean, that's a rarity. You're never going to become a pillar that fast like Buster did. Bailey, you need to keep this going, what you're doing this year into next year to really become that pillar guy.
Well, they're potential pillars.
Yeah,
and to me, there's a big difference.
I asked for
there's
pillars.
There's a big difference.
Potential pillars.
Potential. Like right now, the Niners are hoping that potentially the safety Brown can be a pillar on their defense for a long time.
All right, Carlos Ramirez just tweeted at us. Bate, I believe Thairo Estrada is a pillar for the Giants.
I agree with that.
Okay,
I agree
I'll meet
with
you
that.
there. I'll throw Thairo in there.
But here's what I would say to you.
That's 4 guys.
Yeah, but here's what I would say to you. We were talking about the kind of the yin and yang of playing a guy who's better today versus a guy who's younger, who might not be. I look at, there's a bunch of guys on this team. Wilmer's one of them. Jock is one of them. Slater, Yastrzemski. They're just good enough to kind of roadblock some of these young guys. And my thing is there's just too many of those dudes. There's too many niche guys that are slightly better than some of these young guys could be. I don't know if these young guys could ever be as good as what Yastrzemski is.
Right.
But I do know this. Yastrzemski's just not good enough.
Yeah. Austin Slater, a pillar.
He's good if he's your 4th outfielder. If you're rolling in with him as one of your starters, and I just... Come on.
I'm not there.
Come
I'm
on. So, that's what I'm saying. I look at the Giants roster today, and I understand people want to make the playoffs, and I'm not here to say you don't want to make the playoffs. Of course, that's the big goal. But to me, it's about the development of the young players. And so as the next month of the season kind of rolls on here, you bring up Luciano and Schmidt and Matos. Boy, I really hope they get a chance to come back and play some meaningful baseball down the road. And if they play meaningful baseball and you don't qualify for the playoffs, I don't think it's the worst thing.
It's not the worst thing in the world.
But if you play all these other guys, the Yaz's and the and whatever, and you don't get a look at Ramos,
well,
right?
But here's the thing. Here's the thing too, though. You could get all that experience. I'm just trying to find some players for 2024.
But that's right.
I'm trying to find some players who can help me on the big league roster in 2024.
So in 2022, I found out Estrada is a player.
Okay.
Right? And that was good. That was really good.
That was good.
I was hoping by now I'd know what Ramos is.
I don't even know. Is Harrison pitching today? Who's pitching?
He
Is he
pitched
called
last
up?
night. No, he pitched last night, and he struck
Okay.
out 12 or whatever in his first
All right.
4 innings, or 10 in his first 3 innings,
Okay.
or whatever it was.
That's cool.
But I don't know. I mean, look, again, everybody Harrison, and I like Harrison. I remember when Sean Estes was supposed to be,
Right.
Kyle Harrison. I remember when William Van Landingham and Jerome Williams and Brad Hennessy and Kevin Correa were all supposed to be guys, right? So I'm not saying that he's going to be good, bad, or
Right.
we got to see it.
Right. It feels.
Didn't we learn our lesson with Trey Lance?
But look, it looks like the Dodgers. They've got more than just 4 pillars. The Braves have more than just 4 pillars. The Orioles have more. That's all I'm asking. Who are the pillars moving forward to next year? Okay, I'll beat you. Tyro Estrada, second base.
Yeah, I
All right.
listen to that.
Logan Webb, ace pitcher. Bailey, catcher. Camilo Duvall, closer. Okay, the Rogers brothers are good setup guys. You want to throw? I wouldn't call them
built a
pillars.
really good bullpen.
But they've got a good. They're
built a good
part of the
bullpen.
roster.
Yeah.
It feels like the Giants need about 12 to 15 more players.
Yeah, that I would agree with. But I think you can make that argument for the Reds, the Cubs, like all these teams
Well,
that
the
are in that third, second wild card hunt kind of all have that similar thing.
So that's
No,
where
that's
I'm
a
at
good
with
point.
That. That's where I'm at with that. Real quick,
One last thing before you move on.
Hurry up with the Giants, man. Could you drive me crazy? It's football season. Let's go.
Are you okay with them picking up the option on Farhan for next year?
Yeah, I'm not in the fire Farhan camp.
But are you in the extend Farhan
No.
camp?
I just
Still a
let
little
him
wait and see?
Let him play out next
I
year.
think we agree.
2024 is
Yeah,
a big year.
I think we agree.
I'm there with that. Don't fire him. I want to see how this plays
One
out.
more offseason.
One more
Yeah,
offseason.
I'm with you on that.
One more offseason.
Yeah.
Let's go through the season. Let's go.
Yeah, I like that. I agree.
Let's get to Mooch, though, real quick.